All right, welcome everyone to Masculine Geek number 207, the live stream AD&D game session number 37. Without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to the rational DM, Mr. Raul Tomasi. Take it away.
I am going to hold on one second here. I have to give you, because we have a new player today. Would you like to introduce our new player today?
We have Mr. Frank Jr. Noble Jr.
We'll be playing. So as soon as you give me email address or some way to send this, should I just send it to you, Vince?
I think Noble's email is in the Masculine Geek chat.
I just dropped it in the private chat as well.
Okay, hang on one second.
Directly to him.
All right, give me 1 minute. Can you pass it in this? I was wondering if you can actually send files in the private chat. Okay, hang on. I'll email it to you.
I don't know if we can do file. We can do a link.
I think you do transfer it. That'd be interesting.
That would be cool.
I've never needed to do it in StreamYard. Where'd it go? There we go. And there we go. All right. Kind of hard to put a class on Lupo because he's not exactly a fighter. When I built out as an NPC, it's like he's a 16-year-old boy. He's like he's your link boy.
Commoner.
Yes. Okay.
He's on his way to becoming a fighter.
Fighter would kind of probably be the closest thing though,
to
what he's been doing.
He's a monk.
Cleric? No, he's been using edged weapons. He is trying to learn some of the stuff in the books.
Well, he has learned from you guys tutelage.
Fighter makes sense.
Did you guys get that? I just sent it. I just passed it on to you. I just emailed. Oh, and by the way, Vince, I did download that dungeon building thing.
Does it look good?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's $45, but I was like, yeah, it's worth it. I'll go check it out.
All right.
And it looks pretty cool.
Dungeon craft?
Well, it looks really cool. It's very
3D
video gamey 3D, but it's almost like playing Minecraft with stuff that you would use in a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Nice.
I'm going to look into it and see if I can use it for maybe not this adventure because I've already got everything set up for this one, but certainly the next. Okay. Is that it? That's it. And to answer the questions already, yeah. I would very much love to have an Access Vegas episode where we could have stars and Penthouse Pets and all the girls from Wet Republic
in their special.
You have to see that. Here's the trick: is you have to find the girl who is a good sport. There has to she's got to be of course she's club girl, but if she has to be a good sport, and there has to be a lot of vodka on the table. So
exactly.
All right, did you guys get the character sheet yet, Noble?
Yes, I did.
You got it?
Does he have it? Okay, cool. Okay, it's a PDF. That's just to give you your stats. Yeah, that's just to give you your stats right there. Okay. Oh boy, Mac's in the chat. All right. See, we need Mac to come and play. We need to roll you up a character, and then for the next adventure, we should make Mac Morwen LSR.
No, I as much as I like Mac, I do have a rule: no women at my gaming table.
Okay.
All women. It's either all women or none.
I was gonna say, what if we invited her to the Access Vegas one-off?
That's fine. That's
then we're
that's fine because she'll be with other women. But,
Got it.
Exactly. Sorry, Mac, you're SOL unless you're with a bunch of other women.
Gotta cosplay her character though.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she should do that with a baby now.
Ooh, that's right. She's a mama now.
She's a mama. Congratulations on that.
I was going to say
the baby can cosplay as Bent.
She has no idea what's going on. She has no idea how to play. All right, well, that eliminates you.
Bent is Amos's character from the alternate campaign.
Okay,
let's go.
get the. Hold on a second. I got to share this. Dang it. Hang on. There it is.
The badger.
There you go. You play the badger.
All right. All right. Here we go. Drew, did you have a chance to watch last week's episode? Because it was kind of.
I got through most of it except for like the last half an hour. I probably should have started with the last hour.
Yeah.
But so I up until probably about the last half an hour or so. So I don't know where we left off, but got through a lot of the other stuff.
All right. Amos, you have a chest, a coffer stuck to your hands. Right?
Yes.
That's going to make things rather difficult, Amos. Okay, so you have found this secret passage that led away from the warg's den that was way down here. Down that way, just so you can see, just to give you a bit of a reminder. Aldemar, you are at the door right now. Now, remember, I'm going to give you, I give you time enough so that you could re-up your spells, such as they are. So, as I said, Drew, you can you have 3 first, 3 second, and 1 or 2 first or 2 thirds. So you can pull those from the player's handbook. Amos, I'm going to just give you the list here in just a second, so you can pull from it. But you're not casting anything right now because you have a chest stuck to your head. So that kind of ruins everything for you.
Question from the last session: did I find anything in the chest?
No, you couldn't open it. It just stuck to your hand. It's almost
so
like
it did. So the springerly opened it a bit, but then closed it. And I touched it.
Lifted it off the top, and then pushed it back down again.
Huh. Damn it!
Like almost as if there's nothing to open. So let's see. All right, so let me put this down here. Put this over here. Noble Jr. You are Lupo. Lupo, just to give you, in fact, we haven't introduced Lupo in a long time. Lupo is a link boy. A link boy is just the guy who holds the light. Your character is a 16-year-old human boy, human male, and he's inquisitive. He is technically an orphan. Gray is his charge, and he is the son of a lesser, I'm going to say a duke or like an elector count. And so you are under the protection of Gray. They brought you along into all this mess to basically use you as a pack animal and to hold the lighting, hold a bullseye lantern that is on the top of about a 7-foot pole. So you're illuminating areas for people. You also have a +1 magic hammer, like a footman's hammer, to defend yourself with, and you also at this point have a chainmail shirt, like a coif, I guess, and shirt, and it's a little bit heavy for you because you're not the strongest guy in the world, and you essentially hold like packs and bags and you're kind of like a henchman for these guys at this point, but you're much more than that actually. However, at this stage, you are just inquisitive. You are trying to learn how to cast spells, but you haven't really figured that out yet. But you're not too bad with the hammer because Duncan, who is your dad, has been teaching you how to, because he is a fighter. He's like a man at arms, and so you also have Grot, who is a half-orc fighter, have been teaching you for the last 2 adventures here. So you're not too bad with a hammer. So you actually have some skills. Aldemar, you're a ranger and you're at the door right there. Last time we got together, you found this secret passage. You passed through what was apparently Narzi's old, some kind of a laboratory of some kind. Narzi, of course, is the illusionist that has sort of been plaguing you since the first adventure. And this is the first you've actually heard his name or actually seen anything relating to him. This secret passage led all the way up to what looks like his quarters, because everything in this room is kind of smallish. The bed is a human-sized bed, but the rest of it is pretty, like for a very small, like a halfling or maybe small. Gnomes, by the way, in Dungeons and Dragons First Edition are smaller than halflings. They are not the same size. Make a note of that. So you are in this room. You've just discovered this. Rothos was foolish enough to put his hand on the coffer that was right in front of him, and it was covered in what looked like green emeralds or green gems of some sorts, and decided to stick it to his, I believe, your right hand. Am I right?
No. It stuck to my hand.
It stuck to your hand. Okay, so it stuck to your hand. Got it. So Gray, you're I'm going to do you all a solid here and allow you guys to have full spells, because everything that happens from here on out, there ain't going to be no thing after this. So
where are we at on
hit points?
Hit points?
Where are you at on hit points?
I'm more than halfway down.
35. Did
25
I take
out of
damage
62.
last time?
Smoke them if you got them. What'd you say, Drew?
25 out of 35 hit points left.
Okay. Do you want to burn a Cure Light Wounds? You do have potions as well. Now, somebody's got to be keeping track of your gear.
Oh, let's see.
Have a look at your inventories. Everybody.
I have a potion of undead control. That's the only one I have listed.
Probably not going to heal you. It might might stiffen you up a bit.
I've got a scroll of Cure Light Wounds. I'll just use that because I want to hang on to that spell if we don't have a potion.
Okay.
Oh, and I have a Cure Serious Wounds.
There you go.
I better use that. It's a 2d6 plus 2, if I recall.
Okay. Who are you going to use it on? And the other
I'm going to use it on me because I'm down 10 hit points.
Okay. 2d6 plus 2, and you want to split it between you and Grot?
Is that 15?
How bad is Grot? What condition is he in?
You guys can.
All right, I have 62 total. That's my max. I'm down to 25.
Oh, so fuck. I'm going to use it on Grot.
Use it on me, baby.
And 9 plus 2, 11 hit points.
All right, yeah. Here we go.
And I'll just use the other one on me. The Cure Light Wounds.
36.
36. 1. And fuck, I only get 3 back.
And
well,
and fuck.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's 2 scrolls.
Okay.
Duncan's got a little bit too.
I'm at 3 hit points out of 12 maximum.
You're fine.
Well, that's right. You're fine.
You're good.
Yes.
I get the chest.
Yeah, you have got a shield.
What are you complaining about?
Oh, fuck.
Take a drink.
Roll it. Boy.
You drink every time he says fuck.
Oh, I didn't know
But I
that.
need something stronger than C4.
Drew, that's been ongoing since your campaign started. That's the thing.
I'm going to hospitalize some people then.
We're going to be alcoholics by the time you're fucking done.
All right. While they're doing this, actually, Blodgett, roll me a d4. Give me your luck points for this show.
4.
Lucky boy. All right, good. You're gonna need them. Let's see what else. So in the time that you guys have been resting here, and such as it is, and deciding how you're going to heal yourselves, Blodgett, our halfling thief, along the north wall is a bed draped with satin comforter and ornamented with silk cushions. Everything in here seems very luxurious, or an attempt has been made to make what looks like very common luxurious. With silk cushions. Along the east wall are several ornamented, or are several bookshelves. and they're virtually obscuring that wall. Okay. So some of them, actually, I'll just leave it at that. If you guys can tell me what you want to do. There's a bookshelf right over here. Over here, there is, let's see. Shelves got that. Okay. And so on this table over here is a wide assortment of flasks, tubes, decanters, jars, cans, and small boxes are on here. And let's see. Okay. So that's basically your environment and your position where you're at right now. Over here, there's more. This looks like some sort of book has been laid over here, and it looks like some half-eaten food was on this table. Over here is where you'll find the decanters and the cans and flasks.
Does the food appear to have been made recently, or is it rotting? And
you can't really tell. It's not rotten, but there's not a lot on the plate to begin with.
Okay.
And they're very small, very, very small. The only thing that looks semi-human size is the bed and the chair and the bookcase. Rothos, you still have a coffer stuck to your hand. Aldemar, what are you doing?
Apparently still standing by the door.
Ranger
So there's no other... Basically, this is just a dead-end room.
Well, you remember you poked your head out into the hallway there. That's why I gave that to you last game. So you got that.
I'd like to browse the bookcase.
Yeah,
See if
I'm
there's
gonna look
anything
around.
interesting.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go look at the bookcase as well.
Bookcase? Okay. All right. And Lupo, what would you like to do, Lupo?
I want to examine the bed even further. Something sounds fishy about it being luxurious.
It's out of place.
It's out of place.
Something's not quite right.
And Blodgett, what are you doing?
I had been inspecting the bed and so forth and around the bed and probably going to lay down in the bed and take a nap since everybody else is checking out the bookcases and tables and so forth. And it seems like a good time to catch a couple Z's.
Okay.
On the bed.
Sleep is a weapon.
And it's right there too. Well, Blodgett, you don't notice anything. Duncan, you don't really think of anything, but Lupo notices that the bed is unmade. As if someone small had been sleeping in it not too long ago.
Definitely not Jordan Peterson's room.
Yes, someone didn't start the day right. It looks for a luxurious bed. It looks as if somebody bolted out in a real hurry. Gray, since you are looking at the bookcase, let's see. Some of the volumes are well worn. Others have a layer of dust and a few cobwebs covering them.
I would like to check the ones that look like they've been opened recently. Anything that's not dusty.
Mm-hmm.
And see if
for
there's
a newer one, a more well-used one, as opposed to one that hasn't been pulled out in a long time.
Yes, partly because I suspect there might be something else to this bookcase, but also because it would be interesting to know what whoever's room this is has been reading. Might give us some information about them.
Okay. So you're kind of thumbing through these things. Rothos, what are you doing? You have a coffer stuck to your hand.
So I'm kind of, I guess, my right hand, right? I'm kind of shaking it, trying to feel like, feel like adhesive? Does it feel like an adhesive, or is it like magically stuck?
That's magically stuck. Yeah, clearly it's magically stuck to your hand.
So I kind of, I guess, as a just instinct, I'm putting it on the ground, like laying it, and I'm using my foot to pry it off.
It kind of hurts your hand when you're doing that. You can't pull it off for anything.
Jesus.
So you're like actually hurting your wrist. Like you're risking like breaking your wrist by doing that.
For a split second, I thought you were going to say my foot is stuck.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Your
Is the
foot
foot
is
getting
not
stuck
stuck.
now?
Your hand is stuck to it right now. Yes.
Okay. Well, I look over at Grot
All right, Grot.
with the box.
The elf looks at you like
Has anyone
like an
tried
inquisitive dog.
breaking the box?
I'm like, Grot, can you break this box with?
Grat say you picked that up and that stuck to hand, so Grat no touch that, get away.
Does
With a
anyone
weapon,
have
not with your hand, with a weapon.
oil
like-
of slippery?
Well, I'm Grat no dull sword on magical box.
Hey, I'm happy. Duncan is going to volunteer to amputate the hand.
There you go. Grat
Legs, it doesn't need
can do
those.
that easy.
Well, shall I go back over your inventory for you?
Somebody
Yeah.
has a hammer.
If Duncan
Duncan
severs
has a hammer.
his hand, I'll heal the stone.
There
Okay.
we go.
Did anybody
I
write
can't
this
cast
down
spells with
on
one
this?
hand, though.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's going to make spell
Isn't
casting
there-
difficult. Oh shit!
Somebody should have like dispel magic or some shit, right?
I had it, but I had to cut my spells back to 2 for the 3rd level.
Oh,
and,
shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
and also, dispel magic does not remove the magic from enchanted items. It will dispel the effects of a spell in an area. But like if you get a magic sword and I cast dispel magic, your sword is still magic. And I'm assuming the box, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's enchanted. So dispel magic would remove any spell effects that are currently active in the room, but it would not remove any magical effects from an enchanted item, therefore wouldn't help us. Or I'm
well,
assuming it wouldn't.
It might. Well,
Maybe it's
better
a
than nothing.
cursed box.
right.
After my next rest, I could memorize
let
it.
me. Shall I once
What if-
again go over those?
What if I bang it against the wall? Would it
Yeah.
break?
You tell me, man. I just work here.
So I'm gonna walk over to the wall behind Grot, and I'm gonna like try to bang the box
Behind
against
me.
the wall.
Behind me.
Well, just because it's the closest wall. Like I'm
All
looking
right.
at the map,
Fucker.
so I'm gonna try to bang the chest against the wall.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna bang the chest against the wall. All right. Roll me a d20. Amos.
God. 11.
Okay. You bang it against the wall, and it makes a pretty loud noise against the wall. Clatters on the wall, but it is still stuck to your hand, and you're lucky you didn't take any damage.
It's
You're
just
gonna
like
wake
when,
up Blodgett.
Pippin
The
was in
box
Warrior.
isn't taking any damage. It's not. Doesn't look like
No.
it's been damaged.
It is looks like it just as fresh as it was when you put your hand on
Oh
it.
my God! It's a magical yeah.
Okay, Gray, you find what looks like the most recent book that has been pulled out and referenced. Opening it up, you can see what look like formula of some sorts. It's it could be like for creating potions.
Okay.
It might be as far as you can tell. It's like it's almost like mathematics to you. Clearly, there's magical elements to the writing itself. But it's like a formula, like how to make how to make eggnog or some shit.
I tell Rothas to stop playing with his box and ask him to come over here and look at this book and tell me if he can make heads or tails of these formulae.
All right, Blodgett, what are you doing? You don't see anything under the bed. There's nothing in the bed. The only thing that looks out of place is that it's not made.
Mm-hmm.
The pillows look very, very nice. Bed Bath and Beyond.
Okay. I'll take a closer look at the pillows just to make sure there's nothing hidden in the pillowcases and hidden in the pillows.
Okay. You're looking at the pillow. They're very long pillows, by the way. They look just like the ones that are right there in that in the image there. So you can see.
Okay.
Are they dirty pillows?
No, they're actually very clean, which is surprising considering that everything you've seen up to this point have been dirty goblins and hobgoblins everywhere. And so, anyways, one last thing. Upon investigating the pillows themselves, you're looking at them, And they have what are like feathers, maybe down feathers of some sort in the pillows themselves.
Okay.
And there's about 3 of them. And when you lift them up, you notice that there's a tooth under one of the pillows.
Okay. I will snag that tooth to inspect it.
You gotta leave some money.
Gotta leave a copper piece.
Leave at least a gold.
Nah, I'll leave a copper.
Everyone sees you doing this.
Yeah.
What you do over there by silk bed?
I'm just inspecting the tooth. I'm assuming I can only tell
what
that
are you
it's
going
like
to do?
a humanoid.
This is starting to bore Grady wants to fight. So, aside from chopping off Rothos's hand to free him from the box, which doesn't seem to be a good idea, I'm going to go over to the door and peek down, stick my head out, and look down both ways.
Okay. Aldemar, you're looking at the bookcase, and you see exactly what Gray is seeing. There are some books there that are, they look old and cobwebby, and some of them look like they might have been used not too long ago.
Is there anyone that doesn't have a bunch of dust on it?
Yeah, there's one more. Gray's got one in his hand that looks like it has been used or referenced recently. There's another one that is there as well. But the other ones the rest of them are kind of covered in cobwebs and look kind of a little bit dusty.
I'll take the one that doesn't have dust on it, or as much.
Okay. Roll me a d20 real quick, please.
Aldemar or all of us?
No, it's Aldemar.
I rolled an 8.
An 8. Okay. You notice on the cover of it, in the little bit of dust that is on this one, there's a handprint that's on it, and it looks like a child's handprint.
Oh, so it's that one jerk. I'll look at the. Do I know how to read? Do I know how to read the language?
Golly.
Yes. Again, it's more formula, but in this case, it seems like it might be some way. Like you see schematics in it too. So it looks like it might be like how to build something or how to create. Roll me give me a wisdom check. Roll d20. It's a wisdom anyways.
15.
15. Yeah. What's your wisdom? Let me look. Let's see. Where is Aldemar?
My wisdom is +2.
Yeah, but what is your
15.
It is 15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, good enough. All right, so you can tell that it's meant to make some kind of magical like operation kind of not machinery so much, but maybe tools. Could be a tool. Could be items, let's just say, and they look like they could be anything from something useful like a tool to like maybe a fetish, something to use to cast spells, kind of thing. But you can't. It's really like gibberish to you because you can't really read magic.
Are there
all you can make heads or tails of is actually the drawings that are in the book.
Okay, so no pages are dog-eared. There's no marks. There's no nothing.
No
writing. Okay, so I'm gonna take the book and I'm gonna put it in my backpack, sack, whatever it is.
Okay. Duncan, what are you doing?
Similar to Grot, I'm going to go look outside, mostly because I'm concerned that all the rattling of the box against the wall might alert somebody to our presence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good idea.
Lupo, there's nothing really much around or under the bed that you're looking at right now. You notice that Rothos has this coffer. It's about a box that's about yay big, maybe not even like 2 feet long and a foot wide maybe. And it's stuck to his hand, and he can't seem to get this this box that is magically glued to his hand off of his hand. So
how big is the hole in the box that his hand is in? Is it just
it's stuck to the top of the box. It's not
palming it.
Box. Yeah, he's palming it.
He's stuck to the top of this, so his hand's not in the box.
It's not in the box.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't even open the box with a spring.
I'm magically adhered to the box.
Stuck to it.
Has anybody else touched the
Gorilla
box?
Glued to his hand.
No.
Ooh. Yeah, don't touch the box then. Is there a hole in the box?
No,
Yeah, it's a Gamja bar.
that's not a Gamja bar. Trust me. Okay, Lupo, I am going to roll a percentage dice for you. I'm just gonna give this one to you really quickly here because you're a new player. So, in the actually the upper levels, you guys have an inventory of things that are in your backpack and in the packs you're carrying right now. And I'm just going to give it to Lupo right quick here. He's got this. When you guys killed the what the hell is the name of the guy? The executioner guy up top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in that loot, by the way. So here's what Lupo is like sort of rummaging through right now, just so you guys know. Got a potion of undead control, which I think Gray already has. Potion of diminution. Okay, so it makes you smaller. Drink this and grow small. A clerical scroll with Windwalk, Cure Light Wounds, Feign Death, Cure Serious Wounds, Purify Food and Drink, Resurrection, which you already burned once, so that's gone. There is a Ring of Warmth, which is, of course, is on Blodgett's finger right now, and there is the feather that is sticking out of Blodgett's cap right now. And I believe, let's see. I'm trying to think what else you guys have in your inventory here, at least as far as and then sorry, my bad. There is I'm trying to walk past. And you also have a potion of oil of etherealness and the clerical scroll atonement. Which, by the way, I would not advise casting at your level.
Sorry, what of etherealness?
Oil of etherealness.
Oh, I wonder if we could use that on Rothos so that he can become ethereal and detached from the box. Or maybe the box will just become ethereal with them.
Wait, what if someone or Lupo or someone else were to take the potion and then see if they could stick their hand inside the box to see if there's anything in it?
Well, it's an oil, so you wouldn't want to drink the oil of etherealness.
Well, douse it on your hand.
It's an application, an ingestion thing. However, have at it if that's what you want to do.
Can I mean,
play your game.
It's up to you guys, because who has the potion of etherealness?
It's in the bag with Lupo has it right now, actually.
Oh, well, hey, why not? Let's go for it.
So Lupo, you find this potion, you go, what's this? So you guys tell me what you want to do. Those are your. Did anybody remember what I just said? Did you get those? You got to write those down.
I wrote some of them down.
Okay.
I think we just try to rub a little bit of the oil or drop a little bit of it on Rothos's hand and see if the box falls off.
Okay.
Something's gonna fall.
Yeah, who's gonna do what? Lupo's got it in his hand. He doesn't know what to do with it.
It's your call.
You have to rub it like this.
Would I know what the vial is? Is there a label on it?
Oh, I should also. Oh, one last thing, by the way. There are Rothos. You find 2 vials in your glass vials in there as well. They are filled with a black oily substance, and they remind you of. You remember that they are actually Medusa's blood from when you actually came face to face with the. I should say that when Grot came face to face with the Medusa.
Literally,
when you ended up killing her, you collected 2 vials of her blood. So, and they are glass. They are glass vials for a reason.
They're corrosive.
Yeah, I forgot to add that there. So because you guys collected 2 vials of her blood.
Is Medusa blood corrosive?
Roll me an intelligence check, Mr. Wizard.
I thought it was like acid or something.
13.
Highly caustic. And
yeah, don't want to put that on my hand.
And some in your elven magicians circles say have magical properties as well, but it is highly caustic.
Well, I'd say use the potion of etherealness first. If
you don't want to use acid on you,
yeah, let's burn my hand off first.
It'll remove your hand from the box.
Mm-hmm.
It'll remove your hand, period.
All right. So, Lupo, you have the oil of etherealness in your hand. Everybody's looking at you like, what is this kid doing? What do you want to do, Lupo?
Offering the oil of etherealness to Rothas, asking him what it could possibly be and what its effects could do.
Okay. Rothas, you already know it is the oil of etherealness. When you apply it, you probably will use all of it up in one go, but it will turn you ethereal.
Temporarily or permanently?
Yes. Now, temporarily until the oil wears off. However, you're not exactly sure how long you'll remain ethereal if that's the case. And there's no guarantee that it will separate you from the box, but it might.
Okay. Well, I would say start with like my forearm and kind of slowly like
massage it in.
No, kind of let it like roll down into my hand, and as it like
lotion on the skin.
Yes. Lower it down to him.
Is it like okay? Is it like localized, or is it if it's applied, my whole body becomes ethereal?
You don't know, actually. You've never used oil of etherealness. You only know it from learning from others. But again, you're kind of doing this all on the fly here. You do know that it will make you ethereal. You're not exactly sure like to what degree.
Oh, I tell Lupo, put a drop of it like on my wrist here. And I pull out I reach out with my right hand with the box and like pour it on a couple drops of my wrist, see what happens.
Okay. So Lupo, he's asking you to do that.
I oblige.
Okay, so you try to pour a good portion, just a touch on him, and you kind of feel a little bit. You feel kind of tingly on your arm there, and it kind of creates a spot on your arm that sort of phases out. So you're not necessarily invisible per se. But it kind of, you're like kind of translucent where the oil touches your skin.
So I reach out with my left hand and have Lupo give me the potion, the oil, whatever it is. And I'm going to just very cautiously kind of drip it over my fingers to make them just translucent enough, hopefully that I'll detach from the box.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so you work a little. So you're going to pour a little bit more. You're going to work a little bit more into.
Yeah, like drops almost like on my fingers.
All right. So the oil spreads when it hits your skin, and it turns your hand ethereal. You could feel the weight of the box become lighter as you do this, and the oil of etherealness spreads up to right about your elbow. A little goes a long way, put it that way.
Okay. And did the box detach?
No, but it feels lighter.
Did the contents of the box fall out?
No.
So my hand is ethereal now.
Yes.
But I'm still stuck to the box.
You're still stuck to the box, but like I said, it feels much lighter.
Yeah, because my arm is not tangible anymore.
Is there any signs of like enchantment on the box that we can see from the translucentness?
No, but you can definitely tell that it's magic in some way. There, like Rothas understands that there's clearly it's magically stuck to you because there's no sticky stuff on it. There's no glue or anything on it.
I'm going to ask that the others help me. We're all going to pull some of these books and start flipping through them and see if we can find anything in any of these books that resembles this box, because maybe it'll give us some idea as to its construction, or if maybe there's some kind of a command word to cause it to let go.
Okay. Well, he's asking you guys to do that.
I'm asking them. Do you got what does everybody think? Do we search this bookshelf and see if maybe there's some?
Grot, roll me a d20 real quick. You guys can decide whether or not you want to go do that.
I'm going to start looking through.
What do you want to do, Duncan? Bray's asking you over. Blodgett, he's asking you. Aldamar's already there.
19.
Anything that resembles the box, anything that appears like it might have something to do with it. If we all take a few books and we search at a time, we might be able to find something about it.
Grot, you hear a door slam in the hallway from outside where you're at.
Can I just? Did I just? Is
And Duncan also hears it as well.
All right. Can we discern from which direction it came?
Just from outside the hall.
Oh, we don't. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. I still have my head.
It didn't sound. Okay, put it this way. It didn't sound like the door that's across from you. Put it that way. It's distant.
All right. I turn over my shoulder to the group. I say, "Door slam out in the hallway. We need to figure out what's going on here and move out soon."
Can we shut the door and lock it?
Greg can shut door. Does it not look? Does dungeon
There's
master?
a lock. There is actually a lock on it.
Yeah, there's lock.
It's a key lock.
Oh shit! Can we bar it from the inside?
I don't know. Can you?
I will attempt to bar the door after Grot closes it and locks it.
Okay. Well, you can't lock it because you don't have the key, but it looks like it could be locked if you had a key.
Don't we have a thief that can?
I thought we found a key.
Lock?
Can we find a key?
Yeah, Lobo was locked with him.
Yeah, you did. Actually,
There was a key.
That was back when you came down. When you fell down the stairs.
Are there any drawers in the table or the desk that we might search?
No, but there's a bunch of stuff that is on that table, like that book that's right there, and then there again over here is where there are like canisters and vials and decanters and powders, by the way, over there as well. Blodgett, what are you doing?
Well, at Duncan's suggestion, I will try to inspect the lock to see if I can lock it and be able to unlock it again if we need to get out, because I don't necessarily want to trap us in here by locking it and then not be able to unlock it. So I'm going to study it first and before making the attempt to lock it.
Okay. When you get over to the door, you notice that the lock is very finely made, just like the bed. Very nice. It has little engravings and filigrees and stuff in it as well. Mm-hmm. It's a latch system, but there is like a keyhole for that latch, so you can monkey around with that for a bit. Grot, you are right here. Rothos, what are you doing? Your arm is ethereal. The coffer feels lighter, and you are ethereal right up until you're about your bicep now.
So I'm going to follow the advice of Gray, and I'm going to start looking through the books with my left hand. Okay. So I put the oil away. I give it back to Lupo, have him put it back, and I'm going to go over and start looking through the books with my left hand.
Okay. Well, okay. Right now, your right hand exists only in the ethereal plane.
That's why I'm using my left hand.
It's kind of like having only one hand right now in the material plane. So the oil also is spreading up just past your bicep at this point. Right up to about
still spreading,
or your shoulder, where your arm meets your shoulder there. And clearly it's spreading, but it's very slowly. Aldemar, what are you doing? These guys are trying to rifle through these books and look through each other. There's a lot of books to rifle through.
Right. I'm going to say, guys, we don't have time for this. Grab what you can, and we got to get out of here. So I got my book,
My book.
I got my book. I got my wine. I got my D&Ds. Inside joke. Yeah, I found the book that wasn't dusted over too much, and we should skedaddle.
Was there anything on the walls? Anything written?
No.
Anything under the bed?
No. Actually, everybody checked all over the bed. There's nothing.
Okay. What about behind the bookcase? Can we move this bookcase, or if we look behind the book?
You could, but there's a lot of books in there. I mean, if you want to topple the bookcase, you probably could.
Could Grat pull the bookcase
a
little bit?
Oh, easy.
I asked him if he would do that to see if maybe there's something hidden behind it or another passage.
What do you want to do, Grat? He's asking you.
I'm too old. I can't move this bookcase. Ray is old.
What do you want to do, Vince? Say it. Where'd you go? Where's Vince? Did he leave? Well, he must have bailed for a minute. All right. While we're waiting for Vince to come back, Blodgett, you can maybe jimmy the lock a little bit with your thieves' tools if you really want to lock it. So,
okay. I share that information with
you can lock it if you want to. But you would not necessarily be like completely like locked in. You'd probably be able to unlock it. There's nothing magical to this.
Right. All right. I share that information with the group. If we're going to bug out soon, I'm not going to go to all this trouble. But if we're going to be in here for a while and you guys want to have an extra, 30 seconds of warning before something comes through the door, I can trip the lock. So I just need to know what we're doing, if we're staying or going.
What are we doing? Oh, okay, great. Grat's back. Grat. Gray is asking you if you'll pull the bookcase out for him.
See if there's anything behind it.
Grat can pull bookcase away, yes.
Okay, so Grat pulls a bookcase. Give me a strength check. Yes.
I have a plus 7 or 9. Plus 7. 10.
Roll them.
I rolled a 3, and I got to a total of 10.
Okay, even with the 3, you can like slide it. If you rolled a 20, something bad would have happened actually. So okay, so you can pull the bookcase. Gray, he's pulled it just about half a foot away from the wall.
Do I see anything behind it?
Nope.
Damn. No little gnome holes or anything.
No gnome holes. Not today, monkey boy.
It counts.
Kowalski, analysis.
Do we hear anything in the hallway?
You don't hear anything. Duncan hasn't heard anything since the door slamming, and Blodgett has just now managed to lock the door, and Blodgett is too busy working the lock. Lupo, what do you want to do, Lupo? You see all this going on. You have the oil of etherealness in your hand that Brothos passed back to you. It doesn't look
I want to put that to the side for now. I want to examine that book that's on that table behind me.
There we go. Oh boy. Inquisitive, aren't you? All right. It looks like a journal or a diary of some sort. It is written... Half of it is written in Elder Common, which you can sort of read, which is not necessarily common that you speak with everybody here, but it's like the old world's version of, it's like Old English kind of thing. And then there's another language there that you do not get whatsoever. But like every other paragraph or every third paragraph is in Elder Common. And it mentions a person by the name of Marquesa in the paragraphs, and how he is going to or how there's distrust in the ranks or dissension in the ranks with Marquesa, and then it kind of trails off into the other language, and then it trails back in again, and the last entry in the journal says something about like mutiny or betrayal in the from what you can make of Elder Common. and that there is mistrust in the stockade. So that's what you read. No one else knows that, just you. So you're poring over that. Rothos, what are you going to do? Half of you is in the real world. Half of you is not. What do you want to do, Rothos? Where'd you go, Amos? Bring it back.
Here I am.
All right.
Sorry, I'm looking through the books. Didn't find anything, right?
Nothing. And Grot just pulled the bookcase forward.
Yeah.
From the books you've been able to sort of rifle through and toss to the ground, you're not seeing anything that's...
So
most of the books are mechanical in nature or like a chemical formula in nature.
Oh, okay. If I take a book with my left hand and I put it towards my right arm, does it go through?
Yes. Right. Yes, right up until about your bicep, and then you can begin to feel it, and it kind of stings when you get it too close to where you actually are solid.
Okay. So, because by the bed there's a desk over there, right? The upper left-hand corner there. That's a desk.
Yep, that Lupo is like intently focusing on a book in front of him.
Oh boy.
Okay. Is there like an edge of the desk, like where? So what I'm thinking is, I walk over to the edge of the desk, and I'm going to put my arm through the wood, so that on one side is my arm and the other side is the box, and I'm going to try to lift up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Describe to me what you're doing. Lupo's trying to read
Okay.
and you're trying to monkey around.
So hypothetically,
okay.
Let's say, I don't know, this was like the table. I'm basically making my arm go translucent through it.
Okay.
And then, so like, if I were to pull up, the only thing that would make contact with the table is the
box.
The box.
Okay.
So I'm essentially creating a barrier and seeing if that will separate.
Okay. You get to the point where you're trying to push the box through the table, and it stops. It gets stuck at the table.
Like my hand is kind of through, but
yes. But when you try to attempt this, you like I said, the box is still stuck to the table. It almost works, but then it gets to a point where like you try to get through the table, and your hand starts to sting a little bit.
You're going to end up with a desk.
You're still technically like halfway in the material world, so.
Is there any sign of
what you're trying to do? Looks like it might work, but you can't do it in your present form. Logic, roll me a d20. Duncan, roll me a d20.
15.
Monkey boy.
15.
15. Okay, Blodgett, you hear what sounds like a conversation coming from the opposite side of the door just as you lock it.
Okay.
And then it trails off and it goes silent.
Okay. I immediately throw one of my hands up to try to get everybody's attention and
shut the fuck up.
And I'll whisper to Duncan, there are people talking on the other side of the door. Let them know to not make so much racket.
Okay, so I'm going to walk over quietly where Aldemar, Gray, and Grot are and whisper to them as well that we just heard somebody walk by the door.
Okay. Grot, Gray, Aldemar, what do you do?
Have I found anything that seems useful in any of these books?
Nope.
I carefully set whatever book I'm holding back down, and I prepare to cast Hold Person if somebody attempts to come through the door.
All right, remember what you do. Remember what happens when you prepare.
Oh, well, I'm not casting the spell, but it's on my mind.
It's on your mind. Okay. It comes to the front of your brain. Okay. Grot Duncan's telling you to STF you.
I could cast silence on us.
Yeah, I wasn't making much noise to begin with, but I will draw my sword as silently as I can.
Okay. Aldemar, Duncan is quietly telling you to shut the fuck up.
Shine up, sir.
Okay. Lupo, you are still reading through the journal. You can't, again, it's getting more and more difficult because the language that is used that keeps fading in from like it's one paragraph is you can sort of understand, the other ones you can't at all. But you keep seeing the name Marquesa come up over and over again, and there is some sort of distrust in the stockade with Marquesa.
That bitch.
All right, Blodgett, you just managed to lock the door with the nice made lock.
Mm-hmm.
You now, since you've already learned how to lock it, you could probably unlock it fairly easy on your own with your tools. You don't have a key. You do not have a key. So, and Rothos, you are kind of like just budging there. What you're trying to do, you think you could make work, but you're still too physical.
Okay. Lupo. Pour the whole bottle of translucents on me.
Okay, so Lupo, he's asking you to use the oil of etherealness on him, just
Ethereal. Well, yeah, sorry.
Occasion.
Okay. I crawl on top of the chair so I can get to his height and dump the vial on him.
He's actually about your size.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's an elf. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Maybe he's a little bit taller than you, but you're not by much. Okay, so you apply the oil of etherealness. Now, Rothos, you go completely ethereal. And what that means is you're more or less effectively invisible, but not.
Is there like a flickering kind of?
You're kind of like a ghostly image. Now, what happens is when he applies the oil of etherealness, and you can knock that off the list now because now it's gone. The box drops off onto the table as you become ethereal. So the box is now on the corner, right over here on the corner of this table right now. The coffer.
Right.
It's right here on the edge of the table.
Well, it's under the table, actually, because I went from
Yes, it drops under the table, I should say.
Yeah, okay. So I just step back. Can everyone see me still?
Yeah, if they concentrate, they don't know you kind of disappeared because they're concentrating, because Duncan's telling them to be quiet.
They hear me, so I basically look over to Lupo. Can you see me? And does he hear me?
Lupo, roll me a d20 real quick.
4.
You can sort of see Rothos mouthing the words, and it sounds like he's whispering to you, but you can hear what he's saying.
Do we smell the elven bread? Was it lembas bread or whatever? Do we?
Rothos exists right now in what's called the border ethereal. He is halfway between the material plane and the actual full ethereal.
But I haven't fallen through the floor.
No, you haven't fallen through the floor, but you can move and glide now. I should say you can't fly, but it's almost like levitating. You can move yourself. You can choose to walk if you want to, but you can just sort of like move by willing yourself to move.
You're like
what happens if I try to cast a spell?
Yes.
I don't know what spell.
What happens if I try to cast a spell?
Like I said, what spell?
You want to see what an ethereal fireball does?
I'm going to say, does Rothos want to moonwalk through the wall and see what's on the other side?
Yeah, go scare the guys that are walking down the hallway.
Go do some reconnaissance with Aaron Clary.
All right.
Poke your head through the door.
Aldemar, I need you to roll me. Jesus. I need you to roll me we'll start with the D20. I need you to give me a wisdom. Well, actually, no, a constitution check on Aldemar.
Are you sure?
Yes, a constitution check. What's your constitution on your guy? Let me look.
Constitution is the United States of America. Just kidding.
Constitution. Your healthiness.
plus 1?
No, what's the total?
Number? Give me the
What's
number.
the
Oh,
number?
13. 13. Okay.
Got it. Roll him, monkey boy.
Kind of shitty for a ranger.
15.
15. Okay. Oh boy. All right. So that's technically not a pass. So when Rothos goes ethereal, the ring on your soul ring on your finger kind of tickles a little bit and it starts to sting a little bit. And you can hear voices again, kind of like you have been since Rothos himself was resurrected not too long ago. And you can see Rothos perfectly well.
Oh, shit.
No one else can, but Aldemar can. The rest of you you can still see Rothos, but he's kind of like.
Do I notice Do I notice Aldemar looking at me?
I don't know. Do you? Yes, Rothos and Aldemar, you guys can see each other perfectly well.
Special elven gaydar that we don't have.
Haram.
So I kind of wave over at Aldemar, all I guess ethereal looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, can he hear me?
He can hear you perfectly. Yeah.
So I call out to Aldemar and just say, I'm gonna go out into the hallway and just take a look since you're the only one that can see me.
Okay.
And then I guess glide out into the hallway.
Yes, you can phase through the door if you'd like. Okay, so you phase through the door, and you notice out here there's some low lit lanterns in this hallway that's out here.
Okay.
As you phase through, and let me give this to you here.
Oh, shit. You better hope it doesn't wear off while you're out there.
That's all I'll cast the fireball for. Do I? Because there's a door across the hall, right?
There's a door directly across the hall from you. Because you are ethereal, you can see very far distances.
Really?
Yes.
Almost like X-ray vision?
Not necessarily X-ray vision, but you can see a bit further, and there's still light in the hallway here, but being ethereal gives you you gotta remember, you're in what's called if you read Unearthed Arcana, the border ethereal is like the state in which if you had like a ring of etherealness or you have oil of etherealness such as yourself, you can still interact with the material plane, but you have to will yourself to do it. And you don't know how long the effects of this is going to be, but
I would definitely feel it though.
Yeah. So you can see a whole lot further than like anybody else would be able to see in these conditions. There's definitely a corner right here. There's a door here, a door here, and a door here, and it continues, but you can't see any further than that.
I guess I'm going to go into the room directly across.
Okay. You want to fade in there, or what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going there. All right, Blodgett, Duncan, everybody. You just saw Rothos. Well, Aldemar, of course, sees him perfectly, but you just saw Rothos kind of go semi-transparent, glides through the door, and you don't know where he went at this point.
Okay.
So you don't know where he's going.
I did tell Aldemar.
Well, you now have an empty vial of oil of etherealness sitting in your hands. And there is that coffer that just dropped down here. So that this coffer that was here with the green emeralds is right below your feet right there, Lupo.
Don't touch it.
Can I poke it with my hammer?
Okay. You poke it and you can nudge it. You can push it along with your hammer.
Does it stick to the hammer?
It's remarkably light, actually. No, it doesn't stick to the hammer.
Can I give it a good bonk on the lid then? See if it opens.
Sure. Roll a d20.
Oh, it's gonna bounce.
Okay. you kind of smack it, and it makes it clatters, makes a bit of a noise, and but nothing. It doesn't do any real damage to it. There's none of the gems fall off. You got to remember the entire coffer is just encrusted with like these green gems.
I was hoping that if I hit it, it would just pop open like a lock or something.
No.
No such luck.
All right, Aldemar, you're kind of freaked out by all of this because you were the only one who could see Rothos like clearly.
Right.
You heard voices in your head coming through the soul ring, and now Rothos has decided to phase through the door, and he's out. And no one knows where he went. He's completely gone.
Okay. I'm gonna go out after him and say, so nobody else can see Rothos except me.
Okay. Well, the problem with that is Blodgett just locked the door.
Blodgett, WTF, mate?
So the
you guys wanted it locked. I locked it. Now you want it unlocked. I'll unlock it.
Why unlock door?
Grot, what are you doing?
I'm looking at this. Why you unlock door and where Rothos?
Rothos went through the door. He's outside. We need to go get him.
I said I was going out there to take a look. You don't need to come get me.
Yeah, they don't hear you, except for Aldemar.
Well, yeah.
Does hear you, oddly enough. Aldemar, roll me a wisdom check.
So does my sound travel through the walls too?
Okay. I rolled a 2. I'm in trouble.
That's
actually good. That's good for
TJ. In AD&D, the roll is the number that your target number under it, that or under.
When you're doing when you're doing ability checks.
Yeah.
Saving throw is the opposite.
Aldemar, you think you can hear Rothos's thoughts?
Oh boy.
Jesus.
How do I get the girls?
If there's any girls I want to do them.
All right, Blodgett, are you actually going to open the door? Like Aldemar wants you to open the door?
Well, I'm looking back at the group. It's like, do you want the bloody door locked, or do you want it unlocked?
I got the light. What about I shove your head through that little hole?
Yeah, I'm looking at Duncan.
I'm yelling. I guess I'm yelling back. I'm out exploring. Don't worry.
They can't hear you. Aldemar can. Aldemar, you're the only one that just heard that.
What, him yelling or him?
Yes, me saying, "Hey, yes, I'm just looking around. Don't worry."
You hear it in your head.
All right,
you hear it in your head.
Guys, okay, he's cool. We're all good. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Okay.
Boring conversation anyway.
So everybody in the room right now, everyone looks at you, Aldemar, and they are like, "You're insane. What happened?" Like,
okay, guys,
are you hearing voices?
Yeah. Okay, guys. Here's how it goes down. I can hear Rothos's thoughts. He's outside. He's saying it's fine. He's just looking around. Real cool. Nobody panic. And I honestly don't know what else to do because we've looked at the books. Like, he's looking outside. I haven't seen anything crazy.
Okay, so Blodgett, Lupo, Duncan, Gray, you guys all hear Aldemar kind of rambling right now.
Oh boy!
I mean, say someone
silently question his sanity
on Aldemar there.
If anyone's out there, they're going to hear him.
All right, Rothos, you pass through this door here. No one else knows this is going on, by the way. And
you want us to turn off our screen so we can't see?
No, it's fine. It's like it's on your honor here.
Close your eyes.
Just don't metagame.
Yes.
Yeah, pretend you don't know.
Don't be a power gamer.
Don't be a douchebag.
Okay. When you move through here, Aldemar, you are actually completely silent. As you excuse me, Rothos. You are as silent as you want to be, but this is what you see in here. And hold on one second. All right. You see what looks like a small human-sized guy that's sitting at this, is lying on the bed over here.
Oh.
And he is... It looks like he's reading some smallish book. He is in padded armor. Let's see if I can... Do I have the guy in there? Okay. Right. Where'd he go? There he is. Okay. That's him right there. Sitting on the bed. And, well, the token I got is much more sinister than he actually is.
Fireball.
He's a very
slight fireball right now.
Slight guy right there. Rothos, so you're here. He doesn't notice you come in.
Go
However, remember you're half and half. So, but he seems to be very you're completely silent, just passing through the door. And let's see. All right, you also actually, Rothos, roll me a d20. I need to see if you notice some things.
13.
Okay. You notice on the back side of the door is a bell. It didn't go off because you phased through the door. Okay, so you see the guy. He's a single human. He's in padded armor. He's lying on the bed. He has next to him on the bed a cocked crossbow. But it's just kind of sitting there, but he hasn't seen you. Doesn't look like he's relaxing. He seems kind of a little bit nervous.
Okay.
And, but other than that, he doesn't seem like he's kind of out of the ordinary here. It's not a hobgoblin, put it that way. It's a regular human. And that's what you noticed thus far. Just phasing through the door, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there.
So I remember you said I could interact with things at will, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have to concentrate, but you can.
So I'm gonna glide on over to him and look at because he only has just the cocked crossbow. Does he have a sword?
No, but there is. You noticed laying by the bed is a military pick. Sorry. It's a shortish. It's not quite a pole arm, but it's about 6 feet long. Yeah, 5 feet long. It's a military pick. But
so I'm gonna go over.
Let's see. You notice that there's a desk that is across from him, and then there is a bookcase that is also that you can see down there from where you're at. And let's see. So there's a desk, a chair, a stool, a bookshelf, and it looks like there is. Oh, you can see because you're ethereal. You can see that there is something underneath the bed. Looks like it could be a box of some sorts, like a metal-bound box. He's reading a very small book, and he's it seems like he's like reading to himself, like how you halfway read to yourself when you're trying to read. And okay, so there are books in the bookshelf. You can't really tell what they are from where you're at. Beside the bed on that stool that's right there, you notice that there is a dagger that's sitting on that stool. And other than that, you see the only weapon he has really at his disposal is the crossbow that is on the bed next to him, and it's cocked. And let's see. Okay, so that's what you see up to this from where you're at, from your vantage point where you're at right now.
So I'm gonna glide on over and set off the crossbow.
Okay, so you're gonna get up to this point right here,
and then the effects of the oil wear off.
Well, you remember you're still semi-transparent. He hasn't heard you, and he is like focused on his book as you're kind of moving up towards him.
Are you just going to set off the crossbow, or are you going to point?
Just take it and shoot with it.
Just like that scene in Goodfellas, where his wife is like, you got to straddle him.
All right, Rothos, as you get up closer, you notice that the dagger that is sitting on this stool over here, it's very shiny, the blade is silver. And then you notice next to the crossbow are more about four more bolts, crossbow bolts. And each of the tips of the crossbows have silver tipped arrowheads or bolt heads on them.
I guess he's trying to kill a werewolf?
As you get closer to him, and you hear him mumbling something to himself as he's reading this book, but you can't really tell what he's saying because you're halfway ethereal. And you can decide, well, I'll just let you do whatever you're going to do.
Can I make out what's on the book?
It looks as if it might be like a religious book. From what you can make out, it's not. Not without grabbing the book and reading the book. So you're at the edge. He has not noticed you just yet. You are not invisible. You are ethereal.
So, do I know Aldemar can hear me?
Yes.
So I basically just call out. I say, "Hey, Aldemar, there's a guy in the room right across from your room.
Okay.
He's got a crossbow."
So you think this, or you say it out loud?
I think this, sending a message to him.
All right, Aldemar, you hear Rothos through your ring on your finger. It's echoing through your ring that it's on your finger, and he's explaining to you that there's a dude in the next hallway. And again, from where you're at, you can hear him, but when he thinks it to you, it's almost like whispers. So it's kind of hard to distinguish him from the other whispers in your the other voices in your head.
Careless whispers.
So do I know?
You hear Rothos say that there's a dude in a bed across the hall from you guys.
We really didn't need to know that much about the elves' personal life.
We're fine in here.
All right, Aldemar, what are you going to do? You're hearing voices, but one of them is Rothos, and he's telling you I'm right in the bed with this dude.
I did not say that.
He's all loaded and cocked.
I'm going to set up a crossbow.
Is snapping a crossbow code for something?
I'm going to set off his cocked crossbow.
All you heard was the word cock.
All right, so Aldemar, you're trying to make sense of this, but you do get that enough of the information. What do you do? No one else knows this.
The other guys and say, guys, apparently 20 pieces of 8 is 20 pieces of 8.
Happy's next door. Party across the hall.
Keep that door locked. Rats say keep door locked.
As he's saying this, you managed to click the lock back open again.
Okay.
All right. So what are you guys doing now? Let's go around the horn here. Logic, you just opened the door, clacked it open. What do you want to do? Start with you.
All right. I look at Aldemar and it's like, okay, does he need help? Is he wanting us to come over and try and ambush this guy or what?
He has no further information.
I don't know anything else. I just know that there's a guy in the back.
No more.
Broncos is next to him, and he doesn't seem very disappointed.
All right. Should I sneak over? I look at Duncan and Gray, and it's like, should I sneak over there and check out the other door, or should we all stay put?
I think we should venture out, but just be cognizant of the fact that there's a guy in a bed in the next room, and who knows what Rothos and them are doing. So let's
yeah.
I don't think we should take any chances leaving any of the villains in this place alive.
Okay. I will.
Grat agree. Grat say we take out this.
Okay.
Yes.
Rollo, I will open the door since I've got it unlocked. I will open it slowly, peering out, trying to make as little noise or as little motion as possible. If I see the coast is clear, I will boogie across the hallway and begin inspecting the other door to see if it is locked.
Okay. When you go out, you notice that there are some very low burning lanterns that are on the hallway here.
Okay.
And so you can see the edges of these doors up here, and you can see that there's a corner down here just about, but it's darker down here. But there is a light source coming from here, but it's brighter up towards that way.
Okay.
So you can make out just enough of the surrounding
sock
area.
on the door.
There's no
It's a patrol sock.
Don't come in here.
Yeah, if
That's what you
Rothos
said.
didn't put a sock on the door, I'm going to inspect it to see if it's locked.
Over here?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going over to inspect the door. Okay. Okay, Aldemar related that. Lupo, what do you want to do? You see all this going on? You have the lantern in your hand. You also have read the journal, which pretty much talks about some sort of I don't know, mutiny or something in the stockade against
Mutiny, Mr. Christian.
or talk of mutiny
Mutiny.
against Marquez.
Can I take the journal from my inventory just because we don't know like how much of the journal has been deciphered? Since you
Sure.
said some of it I couldn't read. So I want to see, well, do I know if anyone else in the party can read said language?
I don't know. You want to hand it to somebody?
Can I announce or ask if anyone can read this language?
Okay. Yeah. So he does. Lupo is holding out a book, Duncan, Grot, and Gray. It's a smallish journal, like it looks like a little notebook kind of thing. And he's holding it out. He says, "There's some strange language in here." I was like, "I can read about about a third of this because half of it is in Elder Common and the other is in a language I don't understand."
I'm going to offer to take the journal and look at it quick.
Okay.
See if I recognize it.
You look at it, you can read basically the parts that Lupo can read because you know a little bit of Elder Common. And the other language is kind of gibberish to you. It's not even like the language itself, the characters itself don't look as if they are like part of Elder. They don't look like characters that you recognize, put it that way, in the book. And remember, these are scribbled with an ink pen, like a quill. So this is handwritten. This is not like printed or anything else.
Okay. So I'm going to share what I've been able to decipher from the book, but ask if anybody else can understand this other language.
Okay. So you read through it, and you the parts that you can't understand are basically the same parts that Lupo can understand, and it talks about there being distrust at the in the stockade with Marquesa, and that there's a possibly going to be a uprising or some sort of revolt against her. And you notice, so you already know the name Marquesa because that you guys were already aware of this. Rothos knows exactly who she is, and so you know that she is in some way related, if not related to, or is a slaver herself. And Rothos has already explained to you guys that Marquesa is an elf, so you know that much about her. The one thing you don't understand, though, or you don't get, is the leader of the uprising is an individual named Blackthorn. So you get that out of the book a little bit better, but you can't read the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay. So you have the journal in your hand right now.
All right.
Gray, you see them sort of like poring over this little tiny handwritten journal in front of you. And Grot, you see this as well. What do you want to do, Grot? Grot smash.
Yeah. All right. So, is this door unlocked and open?
Yep.
And I see Blodgett over by that door.
Slipped through the door. And he's out in the hallway right now.
I am going to take a sort of a running start, and I'm going to take my right foot and slam that fucking door open.
This one or the one that's in front
by
of
Blodgett. I'm going to blast
so you're
that
going to
fucking
go up
door.
and try to just... Okay, so Blodgett, Grot is like intent on bashing this
Full
thing.
rushing that fucking Grat smash.
Okay, so we're not going to sneak in and kill this guy. Grat's just going to bust through the door. Okay,
Yes.
I step back out of the way, and it's like
Okay, so you're gonna step out of the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Grot, you bump into the door, crunch into the door. Give me a D20.
13 plus whatever my strength.
Okay,
I want to
so
add to
the door is locked, and it kind of it buckles, and it smashes about halfway open. And so you could probably push your way through now, but your body force like smashes into it.
All right.
And at that point,
I say housekeeping.
At that point, Rothos, you see the guy kind of like he backs up to the corner here and grabs the crossbow, and is kind of like trembling in the corner with the crossbow.
So
and he's pointing the crossbow at the door, and you hear Blodgett and Grot and Rothos, you all hear him say, "Go away! Just go away!"
So he's holding it right now, right?
Yeah, he's holding it, and his hands kind of like shaking.
I'm gonna reach out.
Afraid of something.
I'm gonna reach out and like both of you. One at like on for the front of the crossbow, another hand on.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What did you say?
Sorry. Reaching out both hands, I'm using one hand to steer the crossbow away, and the other hand is on the trigger to just shoot it at the wall instead of the door.
Okay. So you're reaching out, willing yourself to do that. With his other hand, he throws what looks like some kind of herbs at the door, and they land. They don't even hit the door. They maybe land right about here. Some kind of like herbs or I don't know, some kind of leaves and herbs. He just takes them and hucks them at the square that's right here.
Okay.
You're kind of reaching out to move the crossbow. So,
yeah, gotta just get him to shoot it at the wall instead of at the door.
So as you do so, he can now see you as your hand kind of reaches out, and now he can make out your form, and he can see you and he's like freaked out. He fires the crossbow, and it passes through you. Although, hang on.
Oh, please miss.
All right, so it passes through you, but the silver in the tips of the bolt stings. It feels like it stung you as it went through your body, and you don't take any damage, but you feel like you could have had things been a little bit different. Grot, you now hear a thunk on the back of the door, as if something like impacted into the back of the door.
And I'm going to continue to push through the door. And
Rothos, you're reaching out, and now he sees you, and he's just like freaking out, like trying to push you away and reaching. He's trying to reach for the glaive the military pick that's there, but he's just kind of fumbling around. He doesn't look as if he's like much of a fighter. He's just looks like
probably thinks I'm a ghost.
Yeah, he kind of. You're freaking him out. So, all right. Grot and Blodgett, you guys managed to like force your way through. Grot, you notice that there is a crossbow bolt in the door that is right behind you now as you move your way up. Blodgett, I presume you're going in.
Yeah, I'll follow behind him, but
okay.
I'm using Grot as a crossbow shield.
Okay, so Grot comes through the door, and he's kind of looking through you, Rothos. And he sees Grot. He's intently focused on Grot. He's like, "What do you want? You're not one of them."
No, I'm not. No, not slaver. Sword for hire. Rescuing slaves.
Okay, he looks kind of confused. He goes, "You're not one of them." He kind of looks around, and the crossbow is right next to him. There's no way he's going to be able to reload it at this point.
Yeah.
But he's kind of looking at you guys. He's looking at you, Grot, in kind of confusion and bewilderment, I guess, because he was not expecting you to come through the door. Lupo, what do you want to do? You hear this bash that happens across the hallway there. Lupo, bring it back.
Lupo.
Oh, my bad. I was checking my phone.
How dare you?
Sorry. I want to peek my head out the door out of curiosity to see what's going on.
Okay. See.
How dare you?
There you go. Okay, so you can see this. You see Blodgett kind of like inching his way in. This door has been definitely damaged by Grot, but it has been pushed in, and you can see you can hear voices from behind the doorway there, and you can see up to here and up to here, and you don't hear anything coming from above, well, I guess from the north or the south. So, but you have your lantern, and it's casting a little bit more light, but it's not much more than what you can already see. Aldemar, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm still near the door, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna move toward where Grad is.
Okay. All right. So Blodgett's right there. Blodgett, I'm just going to push you in here real quick.
That's fine.
All right. Aldemar is right behind you. Duncan.
Yeah, I'm going to follow the group into the other room and see what's going on there.
Okay. Gray, I presume you're following.
I'm following along.
Suit.
And
Unless
I'm
you're
still,
okay.
now that I hear that there's some commotion in there,
Mhm.
no, I won't cast Hold Person yet. We'll wait and see what's happening.
Okay, so Grot, you're the only one he can really see, but he's kind of like looking through Rothos, and he's kind of freaked out because he doesn't know what to make of Rothos.
All right, so he's scared of. Do I notice Rothos?
No, you don't see him at all. In fact, Blodgett, you don't even see Rothos at this point.
All right, so
there are let's see, a candle and a lantern or lanterns in here, so it's dimly lit in this room. Yes.
So he's holding a weapon?
Not anymore. He shot the crossbow, and it impacted in the back of the door.
Okay.
Courtesy of Rothos.
I just say, who are you? You have names?
He kind of looks at you. He says, I'm Carister. And he introduces himself, and he is looks as if he is a miner or a engineer or a worker of some sorts. He's in padded armor. There's no insignia on him, so he doesn't look like he's part of the rest of like what you've seen up to this point, like as far as like the hobgoblins being sort of in black uniforms and scale mail. He's just in padded armor right here, and he explains to you that he's basically hired. He's a hireling here for the stockade that you guys, well, the above stockade, but where you're at right now. And he's been hired by the slavers, and he is like deathly afraid of something. You can tell he's kind of like he looks like he bit off more than he can chew.
So you hired here.
He does. I mean, there is okay. Blodgett, you notice the silver because you see this right away. Blodgett, there's a silver dagger that is on this stool that's over here.
Okay.
And he has the crossbow, and there are a couple. Four more bolts that are next to it, but he could reload it, but he couldn't possibly do it in time to like try to harm you.
Okay. Right. I peer out from behind Grot and said, "We're not one of who?"
He says, "You're not one of them, one of the enforcers." He says, "I have suspicions about them." He seems kind of like a little on edge, maybe even a little bit crazy.
Like they're werebores?
Yeah, I want to ask him why he's got silver weapons everywhere.
Well, he's afraid. He explains that there are. Are you guys going in? I presume everybody's going to go in, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So you guys are going to get probably a good idea since there's
somebody keep an eye on the hall.
People can keep an eye on the hall if you'd like.
I happen to have a lantern that's good for that.
I suggest that he keep an eye on the hall and let us know immediately if he hears or sees anything coming from either direction.
I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I diligently wait in the hall with my hand resting on the hilt of my hammer.
Wait, let me do this to Rothos. This would be cool. Let's do this. Rothos, I'm going to put your opacity down.
There you go.
There, that's how Rothos looks right now.
Nice. Photoshop is awesome.
Okay, so he calls it his name is Carol Wirefeather. Wirefeather. And he is clearly some kind of engineer or a sapper or a miner. He looks like a construction guy. Like if you guys saw him in a township, he would probably be a skilled laborer of some sorts. And so he's there. He's kind of shivering, and he's just sort of he's looking around, and he asks because he can barely see. I know, Rothos, are you going to make yourself visible? Are you going to push yourself into the material, or are you going to stay halfway ethereal? What do you want to do, Amos?
Yeah. So I can still move through walls, right?
Yeah, you're still ethereal as far as you can tell.
So I'm going to go through to the room right next to this one. So basically just straight upward through to the next room.
You want to go through the wall, or you want to go out through the hallway?
Through the wall.
Through the wall. Okay, so you're going
right through the crapper.
All right, so to do that, to pass through that much material, you're going to have to go completely ethereal. Okay?
Okay.
Means you have to
go the long way.
Which means you will have to sort of let go of the material plane to enter into the ethereal to get through the wall. You can do it.
And then the effect wears off midway through.
You know you can do it. Well, you don't know how long it's going to last. Put it that way.
So, I mean, it's not a thick wall, right?
Kind of chance.
Make it through.
Go the long
I'll go
way.
through.
All right, so to do so, you've got to make yourself completely ethereal.
And there are things that can hurt you there. Which you should know since you're a mage.
Do I know this, Mr. Dungeon Master?
Actually, roll me a d10. Or excuse me, a d20.
14.
Okay, so your intelligence is 18. Yeah, you know that. I mean, there are risks.
But it's a real quick little glide over.
Little jaunt, yes.
A little skip and a hop.
All right, so you're gonna. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Tell me now. Is that your final answer? Okay, we'll pass through this wall. We'll come back to you. All right. So,
or maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. All right, Gray, you're here. Grot, you're here. Lupo, I'm just gonna leave you right here in the doorway because you probably don't want to be completely in the hallway.
I'm gonna try to calm this guy.
Okay.
And try to tell him that
what do you say?
We can understand that.
Tell me how to do it. Make him calm.
I tell him that I understand his fear. And that
you're going to Dr. Phil him? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not going to torture him.
Now.
Let's just hire him.
I tell him that if he truly fears these enforcers,
come to us.
And if he is not comfortable with the work that he's doing for them, that this is an opportunity for him to repent his evil ways.
Repent, sinner.
And for him to earn a place in Palor's light.
He's not a Christian!
By giving us as much information as possible about this place.
Tell me what I want to know.
And also
helping
us to find where the people in charge are, where the slaves are being held, and any documentation that we might be able to take that could tie this to any of the nobles in the surrounding territories. I would like to see records of who is buying these slaves.
Okay, so he explains to you that he was hired by the slave lords. In particular, one named Marquesa, who needed him for his services, but also for another individual named Blackthorn. Blackthorn is the
guy we thought fought.
He explains. He says Blackthorn is the overseer here. Now, Duncan, you are the only one who has heard that name, or read that name, I should say, in the journal in the previous room. Okay. Okay, so he explains to you that he is there to sort of help bolster the defenses and the building and the construction of the stockade, as well as the lower levels as well. So he's basically a hired help is what he is. And he says he answers to Blackthorn. But he says he doesn't trust Marquesa. And he still kind of like mumbles and gets a little bit crazy when he's talking about. He says there are animals, there are weird creatures. He can't know what he's referring to, but he doesn't call them like werewolves or weird boars, because you've already encountered weird boars before. But he says there are weird creatures, and he's very, very like almost insane, like paranoid about like weird creatures of some sorts.
Shit. I don't think I've got anything to
the only weird creatures you've seen thus far have been the weird boars that were in the upper levels. And but he seems like he's very like paranoid of being infected with lycanthropy. Okay,
I have a scroll of cure disease. I tell him, I say, Are you infected? Do you believe you're infected?
No, he looks at you like shock. He's no. He says, I'm not infected. He looks at Grot. He says, this one looks. No, he's a half orc.
Oh, shit. Am I able to cast cure disease? I talk with him for a little bit and explain that I am a cleric of Palor. I ask, are you familiar?
His nerves are very on edge. He's listening to you.
I tell him
he's kind of like, he wants to get out of, he wants to leave. He's like, he explains that he's regretting his decision to do what he has to do. But he says,
let's hire him.
But the pay is so good. The pay is very, very good. They want me to do quite a bit.
What they pay you?
I ask him if it's worth his soul or his.
He's looking at you confused. He says, soul. He says, no, they're paying me very good money and they want me to construct, build some things and construct things. He's like, that's what I do.
What do they want you to construct?
He says, I do everything, you name it. I can build it.
So you're an engineer.
Can Gret interrupt Gray's soliloquy over here?
Yes.
All right. So he taps. Gret towers over Gray and taps you on the shoulder.
Okay.
Can you shut up?
I'm going to whisper to Gray. I whisper, if he's not going to work with us, just kill him.
I got this, man.
That was planned. So, I'm called Gret. Badger and Backpack is called Benny. Now we need extra hand to guide us through here. And what they pay you?
Oh, he explains that they give him he's on contract. He's a contract worker basically, but they're giving him a pretty good. They're giving him about 100 platinum pieces per week to do what he does.
So, we need to rob this guy.
Yeah, right.
Aldemar, about the time you're thinking this, and by the way, Rothos, you hear in the back of your head, we should rob this guy. Really, really loud in the back of your head, Rothos. Aldemar, at that time, you're thinking about this. You notice that on the table next to you, the desk there's a desk, there's a chair, the stool, there's a bookshelf again over here. And a footlocker that is under the bed that Blodgett can see from his vantage point right now. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Okay, so on the desk it's littered with papers, quills, and ink. There's a few books there, and you notice that on the desk are also instruments for drafting, and a level an engineer's plum. There's some tools that you've never even seen before. You don't know what the hell they are. And you can see that there are plans for something that are strewn on the desk there. You're not quite sure from where you're looking at. And Blodgett, you can see right there. There is still that silver dagger that's sitting on the thing. And now, Grot and Duncan and everyone else, you notice that the crossbow bolt heads are silver as well.
I think we should take those.
I want to take the crossbow and all the bolts.
I'm gonna take the dagger.
Okay. Well, who's gonna take the dagger?
All right, let's roll.
All right, you're nowhere near the dagger. The dagger's right here on the thing. Yeah, he's kind of like looking at you guys, and oh, by the way, there's a military pick that's laying like sort of parallel to the bed right there. But he doesn't know what the hell you guys are there for, and like I said, he's kind of scared, a little bit like rambly and insane.
Does he know who lives across the hall from him? Who stays in that room?
He says no. He says I don't leave this place. Okay. I keep my doors locked.
Then how do you get out to work?
He says only when they come to get me.
And when will they be coming to get you next?
He says I don't know. I hadn't thought of it. Very soon, I would assume. I just woke up.
Come with us.
He says, "Where are we going? Who are you? What are you even here for? What is all this about?"
Don't argue.
Are you slavers? Are you working? No. Are you working for Blackthorn?
We're fuck that guy. Fuck Blackthorn. We need to find him and Marquesa and essentially kill everyone in this place.
He says
we could kill everybody.
He says
I'm strangely okay with this.
He says, he says Blackthorn would very much like that.
Good, let's kill everyone.
He says I don't think he likes her.
Well, you help me find Marquesa so we can go kill her, and then
he says, "Oh, you can't kill Marquesa."
Why not?
I think you're.
Gret,
no care what you think.
Very quiet when he says that. Oh, you can't kill her.
Why not?
Why does she have magic vagina?
Chill down your spine. Aldemar, on the desk here, you notice that there are plans for what looks like a trebuchet or some sort of war engine that are on the.
I'm gonna grab the plan, put it in my backpack set, whatever it is.
Well, you notice that there are. Let's see. So there's some kind of building, like schematics, I guess, is the best I can put this, that are on there to build what looks like various, like a catapult, a ballista, like a war engines, that are on. Let's see, what else is this? Oh, sorry. And a siege tower as well. You also notice that there looks like he might also know how to like create secret doors and like counterbalance systems and stuff like basic stuff as well. But the thing that looks out of sorts to you is that there are like plans to create some kind of a war engine, like a trebuchet or a catapult.
I think we need to take all of those.
Yeah, we're taking all of them, all of it.
Okay, so you're gonna grab Gray. You don't even know this is going on. Only Aldemar is seeing these. Okay. He's what the hell is this? Blodgett, what are you doing?
Well, I was inching toward the dagger and toward the chest under the bed, but like I said, I've been
preoccupied. You can very easily pickpocket the dagger.
I shall do so because I can always use another silver dagger.
Okay. Lupo, you hear voices coming from somewhere in the hallway. You're not really sure exactly, but you hear some mumbling coming in. And you guys, Lupo you hear it, Lupo.
Can I follow my inquisitive nature and walk down the northern half of the hallway?
The upper, like this way?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're going to move up that way? All right. You hear voices, but you're not exactly sure where they're coming from, but they don't sound like they're coming from up here. They sound like they're coming from down this way.
All right, then I guess I follow the sound.
Okay. So you're going to go that way. Rothas, welcome to the Thunderdome.
Oh, God.
Lupo is being controlled by Leroy Jenkins right now, so.
Leroy Jenkins.
Stop, Chops. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Rothas, you pass through into the next room, which is over here. And this is definitely some sort of barracks of some sorts in here. And actually, I need to do okay.
Are there people in here?
So you are still ethereal, my friend. However, when you go full ethereal to get through, like to pass through more solid things like this, you also have to sort of go deeper into the ethereal than you would, like, say, in the border ethereal. So I need you to roll me a Constitution check, if you would be so kind.
All right. Natural 1.
Natural 1. Oh boy. Well, you do pass. So, as you, in fact, you pass almost too well. You pass. So, just wait a minute. One more thing. There we go.
So I'm overqualified for the job.
Down. Just wait a minute. I just need to lock the position. There we go. Okay. No, you pass almost too well. It's very difficult for you to get back into the material at this point. So you are effectively invisible right now, but I mean, just very vaguely, visible. Like
I can still see around me, right?
You're like the police song. You're a spirit in the material world.
Yes, you are. Okay, so
can I see?
Yes, you can. Of course you can.
Okay.
Again, everything kind of looks hazy to you now because you had to go deeper into the ethereal, but it's kind of like looking at things through like ultraviolet or ultra green for you at this point. Like you're kind of like it's all one color kind of thing. And okay, that's that one. All right. So that is okay. Here we go. All right. In this room, you see 4 beds plus a table. There are several stools. Obviously, you can see them there. There are in this room. There are 1, 2. There we go. There are 2 bugbears. I should have positioned them better. Hang on. They are there, and this dude is over here.
But they obviously didn't see me.
No, they have not seen you. There are 2 bugbears in there. They are sitting on the edges of the beds, and you can barely, faintly hear like a scraping sound. And then you look over and you see what they're doing, and they are sharpening very large bastard swords that they hold. And they're kind of like, they look kind of like they're bored. Like this is like what they do when they're bored. And let's see.
I'm still being heard by Aldemar.
Both of them are sharpening bastard swords, and there's a little bit of food on the table, but they look kind of bored. Like they're this is what they do. They just sort of pass the time. But they look. Oh, by the way, they look almost. Well, their armor because they are armored is that same kind of. It's like a scale mail or a black leather scale mail that is almost identical to the ones that you saw in the other room in the torture chamber when the bugbears came in. So they are clearly part of that grouping. They have not seen you yet because you are ethereal and you are actually deeper into the ethereal now. So it's you just pass right through.
So I use my, I guess I think, obviously with Aldemar being able to hear me, I think to him, hey, the room directly next to you has 2 bugbears in it with bastard swords.
Okay. Aldemar, you hear Rothos in the back of your head going,
and keep your left.
The bugbears! Like, he's like, you have to like raise your voice when you're in the deep ethereal. So, because he can,
Think loudly?
You have to think loudly, yes. Will yourself to think loudly.
And TJ had to head out.
Okay, so Aldemar, you hear that. And it pains you. It's almost to the point where you're almost losing a hit point listening to him. It comes through.
He gets for leaving.
It comes. Where is he? Is he gone?
Yeah, he had to leave it.
So dock him a hit point.
Motherfucker. Okay, well he'll walk. All right. Well, anyways, he hears it. He'll relate it to the rest of you guys. Now I get to play his character. We should let Noble Jr. play. What do you want to do? I don't know. Run him into the bugbear. Yes. That would be great.
TJ, your character was killed.
All right. Yes.
In this game as well.
We let the Zoomer control the character.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
controlled character died.
All right. So the character is very frightened of all of you guys. He doesn't seem like he is in his right mind. Blodgett, there is a footlocker of some sort underneath the bed. Lupo, on the other hand, makes it to the corner here.
Can I sneak under the bed?
You could try.
Yeah,
you're small enough to do. You could probably do that.
Yeah, I'd like to try.
Sure, you can.
And maybe check out the chest.
Okay.
While he's distracted and nervous and scared by my companions.
I would like to.
Can I inch ever forward?
Lupo, by the time you get to the corner, you hear the voices stop, but you do hear this door at the end of the hall close. So you're right there at the corner. Blodgett, yes, you can get it. You don't even have to. You could just like pull it out from under there, and he's kind of looking and wondering where what you guys are all doing. You guys are kind of like bum rushing him right now.
I'm going to ask him what he's reading.
It's a holy book of some sorts, and he explains to you that it's protection against the lichens.
Okay. I asked him if he would mind if I saw it.
He kind of trembling halfway, like kind of shaking, and he gives you the book. He says, "Only for a minute."
This is weak. However, Pelor and his faithful are strong. And if you cooperate with us, I guarantee if you should contract lycanthropy or any other type of wear disease, that I can cure you.
And he said, and he looks back at you and he says, "Oh, I don't need that." He says, "I've got everything I need." And he starts to reach under the bed to grab the.
I immediately strike him in the head with my mace as soon as he starts reaching under the bed.
He reaches under the bed to grab at the footlocker that Blodgett has just now pulled. And roll me a d20, Gray.
20.
Right.
Damn.
You clock him and basically completely like destroy his head. He's like, he dies instantly.
He shouldn't have reached
when you hit him. So he's completely like crushed by, critical hit. So I could actually go get the DCC crit hit, but for this guy, he's effectively killed.
He should not have made any sudden movements. All right. I said, Grat, you saw.
Can we just confirm that Duncan is taking the crossbow and the silver crossbow bolts, including the one in the door?
Yeah, you could do that. So you want to go grab those? Okay, so you now have, and it's a very well-made crossbow. Like maybe he made it.
Like
what
plus
was
one
he
or anything?
reaching? I would like to see what he was reaching for now.
Well, you realize what he was reaching for because at the time that right about after you clock him in the head, Blodgett pulls out the footlocker that he was reaching for, which was under the bed at the same time that Blodgett was going for it. So he's got this kind of like a metal footlocker. It's like an iron-bound box. Is what it is.
There was also a pike lying next to the bed.
There's a military pick that's lying next to the bed too. Yes.
All right. Is the box I've taken locked?
No, actually, it is open.
Okay. I will go ahead and open it to inspect the contents.
Okay, so in the coffer, and it's not magical. No lock, no nothing.
Mhm.
Let's see. He had there. You find 220 platinum pieces in it.
Nice.
Probably, which is a good chunk. That's platinum is worth more than gold.
Right.
5 gold.
So he was a very experienced engineer until the Gray decided to smash his head. And so there's 220 platinum pieces in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also inside, you find another 20 silver-headed crossbow bolts inside this coffer.
Okay.
So there's the 4 that Duncan grabbed. He's got the 5th one that's in the door, and then there's another 20 in there. So for a total of 25 silver-headed crossbow bolts.
Nice.
You'll have to find a way to bind them and put them in. You can have to put them in a bag or something like that, Duncan.
I'm going to look around the room for something to carry all my ammo with while.
Okay. And also in the coffer is a potion of some sorts.
I will pocket that for the moment.
Okay. And also,
I searched the body.
There are sprigs of belladonna and garlic and other herbs that it kind of smells a little funny. You don't know what they are, but there's definitely belladonna in there.
Okay.
And there is the potion, and that's it. So.
Okay.
With all the herbs, would Aldemar know? Being a ranger, all plant stuff, would he be able to identify those and maybe what they're useful for? So we should probably give them.
So Aldemar identifies the belladonna as belladonna is. He says, people say that it's proof against lycanthropes like werewolves, wereboars, wererats, whatever.
Is it though?
Every herb that's in this box, and the most of it is being belladonna, is he says that he doesn't know because he's never had to use it against a werewolf or a wereboar or a weir creature. But you never know, Clearly the guy was afraid of lycanthropes.
All right.
Is there anything on his person that is of use?
No, he just had padded armor on. He was like trembling and freaking out.
Well, I will take some of the herbs and throw them in one of my pouches, and I will pocket as much of the platinum as I can do without over encumbering myself, and point to the chest, because obviously I'm not taking all 220 pieces, and look at my companions and say have at it after I take what I can.
Okay. So that's what Vlad is doing. Duncan, you've got the crossbow and the bolts, 25 silver-headed crossbow bolts.
Grot will take 10 platinum.
Duncan, it's not magical, but it will never jam. I will guarantee you that. So
write that down.
I would also like to examine this bookcase down in the south end, just to see if there's anything there that looks like it might be of use or interest.
Okay. Okay. You're going and looking at that. Lupo.
Have I noticed that Lupo is not outside the door?
You do. Well, no, actually, you haven't because you're too busy talking to the dude. Lupo, the voices stopped, and you heard this door down here close.
Can I see if the door is a peephole?
You can go down and look at
the peephole. Yeah, can I inspect the door?
Yes, you can go and inspect the door.
Do I hear sounds through walls, or am I still limited by the walls?
You can, but you have to make a great effort to do so because it forces you to sort of push yourself back to the material plane.
Oh, okay.
So there is no lock on this door, Lupo. You could see, the only thing you could see is like there's definitely some foot traffic down towards the base of the door. And tell me what else you're doing. How do you inspect the door?
I slightly crack the door open to take a peek.
Okay.
You said he was inquisitive, so I want to be inquisitive.
I love it. You're playing him perfectly. Okay, so you peek in and you can see what looks like a much larger room, just a touch. And you can, let's see, it's definitely lit by torches or by lanterns of some kind. It's a much larger lit room, but this, from just peeking in, you can see just about this much right here.
I think from here, I want to go back to the team and tell them what I've discovered.
Okay. Right, great. You're looking at the bookshelf. The bookshelf contains mostly books that are related to engineering and building and construction. There are plans for like how to build a stockade, how to reinforce buttresses. I don't know. There are how to make defenses, like simple defenses, complex defenses. There are masonry books in there. It's mostly like engineering and building kind of stuff. The only thing that seemed a little bit sus is the plans for war machines or ballista or trebuchets. Trebuchets.
Anything that looks like it was specifically about or for this place or the people that he's working for. I think we
definitely. He's been responsible for building I should say reinforcing the defenses of the stockade, because remember the stockade was built in the elder days, but then these guys have come in and sort of rebuilt the whole thing, and he was definitely responsible for that. He was also responsible for a particular trap that involved a stuffed bear.
You killed him. Bear was fun.
Well, now you have your final revenge.
So I was absolutely justified.
Bear was fun.
All right, Lupo comes back into the room and explains that he heard voices. There's a door down that way. And Aldemar is still explaining to you that in the next room over where Rothos is, there are at least 2 bugbears, and they are lazily sharpening bastard swords. So I think we're going to leave it there because we're at 2 hours 17 right now.
Oh.
And Rothos is in the ethereal, so he is more or less incorporate right now, so he can stay there unless you want to move back to the other room, Rothos. Amos, do you want to stay here or do you want to move back in?
I move out into the hallway.
Okay, so you whip out in the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a constitution check, please.
14.
Okay. You have no trouble going through the door. But you are, let's see, I have you at 30%. You are now 25% in the ethereal.
Oh, is that your opacity settings on?
Say that. Yeah, the opacity settings will indicate how deep into the ethereal you are. So you're 75% in the ethereal right now. Oh, shit. Okay, so let's leave it right there. Rothos, you're in the hallway here. You don't see anything else. Well, I should give you a little bit more because you can see in the hallway here.
You can see pretty far.
You can see pretty far. So,
also, Lupo, make sure you grab some of these platinum pieces from the chest.
Yeah. Have a few.
I took 10.
Have a few.
Get the dents out of my armor.
Oh, shit.
Should we live long enough to spend them?
That's 4,000 gold pieces worth.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I can't carry that many.
One
I would be
platinum
over
piece is
encumbered.
5 gold.
Man, they're paying these engineers like mint these days.
Yeah, I know. Who knows? We could have used them to build us a stronghold somewhere.
You might not have been able to bribe him. Now, amongst the other plans that are sitting there, you can see plans for building other like stockades and other constructions at different sites.
Oh.
So there are other slavers operations that are in other areas that are.
Are the sites named, or the areas that we would be able to know where to go?
Yes, they are all in where you're at right now in the Drakenfell Hills, as well as the Marsh, which is the larger area of Greyhawk, which is where you're at right now.
If we make it back, I need to report all of this.
Yes.
Yep. So there are definitely operations outside of there. Because you're ethereal, you get to see all of this.
Cool.
And let's back here. Yeah, see, the benefits of being ethereal. There are a lot of drawbacks, though, too. Yeah. All right, so that's what you can see from there, Rothos, in the ethereal. Actually, technically, I should give you even this part right here. So let me just give you just right there. Maybe a little bit there, because you're deeper in the ethereal, so you can see through. You can technically see through the walls too.
Well, aren't there things in the ethereal plane that can see him too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're in the deep ocean.
Thanks for giving them ideas. Same team.
I'm waiting for him to break out the random encounter chart.
That's why I've been rolling for him. He might even not make it out of the ethereal at this point.
Same
Oh
team,
God!
Same team.
I'm gonna get a massive headache.
What happens?
I don't know if you guys have this.
I know you do, you son of a bitch.
Here's the best part. If you have, there's a great. It's a first edition book or second edition AD&D book. It's the Manual of the Planes. Mm-hmm. You will find out just how fucking dangerous the ethereal is in that book. But it's fun. Well, it's fun to toy around with it. All right, so let's leave it there.
You probably could have used that information like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I remember.
You'd still have that box stuck to your hand there.
Yeah, why? Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, the box is gone.
The box is gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna drift back into that room and somehow phase through the box right as I rematerialize, and I'll just back my cast or something.
Back on your hand.
You wouldn't be able to cast any spells.
You had to do what you had to do. In fact, let me save this right now. All right, that's good for now. There's definitely some combat in your future with the bugbears that are up there.
Absolutely.
And that's about all you can see, but you did get a lot of information on this one. So like if you try to, I almost want you to take notes in some ways, but don't forget the names Marquesa, which you already knew, but Blackthorn's a new name for you, and you realize that there is some sort of,
there's some kind of unrest in
some kind of dissension in the ranks, put it that way.
And try to play them against each other, maybe.
Yeah, well, we could.
Yeah, if only Rothos would come back into the light.
All right, everyone. We're gonna call it a night. Thank everyone who's in the chat.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you to the moderators for doing that job for us as always, because we can't always moderate the chat ourselves because we are playing. So join us next Wednesday where we return to Drew's game after I think a 2-month hiatus.
Yeah,
it's been a
funeral, double funeral. I think.
Jesus.
We got to roll some new characters.
Then you had some poison. You had some poison lasagna.
I know. I need to roll up a new character for that.
That was unpleasant.
I'm sure it was.
I've been working on a short story for something.
you can mention it. I've mentioned it already in the
community
tab. So,
yep. All right. Let's see anything else. I don't even really look at the chat because I'm too busy moving things around and rolling dice. But cool.
Chat, yeah. All right, everyone.
Oh, and the other thing I need to do before, we could do it before you go, is we're getting really close to the end of this. So when we do get to the end of it, you guys are going to need to tell me whether you want to continue on in this series or you want to do something new as far as my campaign's concerned, because that will affect how I get you into the last bits of this. So if you
I'm
want to
fine
keep going, or
I'm fine continuing the whole series. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, actually, the third module is actually a pretty fast one, anyways.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
Likewise.
All right, I'm going to cue up our music and then take us out and enjoy the rest of your weekend, gentlemen.